Europe.
Yes, it all started in Scotland, but has spread its wings as far as Spain, as Mike Dilger has discovered.
Just over 3 weeks ago, 11 Osprey chicks were safely taken from nests in Scotland to be transported to a new home. As in Britain, this bird of prey had been persecuted in Spain, until there were no breeding pairs left in the north of the country. But close to the city of Bilbao, all that could be about to change, as these Scottish chicks are part of a plan to create a new breeding population.
And now they're ready to be released here in El País Vasco, the Basque Country.
Since their arrival a couple of weeks ago, the Scottish Ospreys have been well looked after in large cages overlooking the Urdubai estuary. This is so they forget any memory of Scotland and now regard what they're looking at as their new home. At around 7 weeks old in the wild, ospreys will fledge from the nest. So Spanish project leader Dr. Aitor Galarza is keeping a close eye on these chicks to look out for the telltale signs that let him know they're ready to leave.
So first, when they begin flapping, it's one signal, the first signal. Then when they jump onto the perches, and the last signal is when they began grabbing onto the mesh. So when we see that they are grabbing, we know that we have to release in 2 days or 3 days, more or less.
Roy Dennis, who pioneered the return of ospreys in Britain, has spent the last couple of years helping Spanish conservationists decide the best place for the osprey's new home.
Urdubai estuary is just superb for ospreys. This fills up with water and it's just full of grey mullet. And we realised that this coast would be a great place to try to get ospreys to breed again.
And tomorrow morning, 2 of the ospreys Roy collected from Scotland will be released into their new home.
Well, it's just before 6 o'clock in the morning on Liberation Day. The team are just about to open one of the front of the cages, and hopefully, as the sun rises, they should come to the front and take their maiden flight. Doesn't get much more exciting than this.
Well, Roy, lo and behold, the sun is up, dawn is happening, and the birds have come right to the edge straight away.
Yeah, once the lid is down, then they come out like that.
The ospreys have already been ringed and satellite tagged, so when they do fly off, Aitor and his team can follow them both here and when they migrate to Africa. But it's taking a lot longer for them to fly from the cages than I anticipated.
2.5 hours later, we're still waiting for the ospreys to leave.
But the longer we wait is actually good news.
This is much better. So you give them plenty of time, because the most important thing is that when they do their first flight, they stay in this area and they don't get lost.
Yeah. And after a good 3 hours of waiting...
This looks more promising, Roy.
That is
the edge.
looking good. Oh no, that's it. Gone.
It's gone.
Gone.
It's gone.
Gone.
It's gone. No. Oh, look at that flying. Its first ever flight.
And after a quick survey of its new home, it perches in a tree. A good sign is it hasn't flown off. And then, 5 minutes later, the second one takes to the air.
How does it feel, Roy, seeing it flying? You plucked this bird out of a nest about a month ago.
Well, I feel, very personal.
From Scotland, with love.
Absolutely.
Once all the ospreys are released, they'll stay in the estuary for around a month before they begin the long migration south,
where they'll then spend the next 2 years in West Africa before hopefully returning right back here and being amongst the first ospreys for decades to breed back in the Basque Country, thanks to a little bit of help from Scotland.
I think my